Dear friend, thanks for joining me on my 7-day Christmas countdown. Yesterday was day 7 and today is day 6. We are making Nigerian chicken pie. The Nigerian chicken pie is one of those signature pastries owned by the country. The shape, the creaminess of the filling, the flaky semi-crunchy pie crust. Add this to your feast for your guests and they will thank you. Now, some of the ingredients needed are diced carrots, diced potatoes, some onions, some Scotch bonnet pepper, some green pepper. You'll need some flour, some butter for the pie crust. You also need some sugar and some salt. First step is to make the dough for the pie crust. Now, this needs to sit in the fridge as its shape is retained when it is cold. First, you want to combine your flour, your butter, your sugar, and salt. Use your fingers to work the butter into the flour until it becomes grainy in texture, like this. And then the next step is to gradually begin to introduce ice water. Emphasis on ice water. You don't want to use just semi-cold water. You don't want to use room temperature. You need ice water. The idea is to simply have the dough come together. This is not kneading. You're not kneading the dough. You simply need the dough to come together in a ball. You continue to add the ice water in little bits, teaspoons preferably, until you get it to come together and form a ball. Don't worry about how rough it looks. Cover and transfer to the coldest part of your fridge while the filling is being done. Now for the filling, we need the meat of the chicken thigh, as it is firmer in texture and can withstand some considerable amount of cooking without getting all mushy. You can use some lemon to wash this. Take your time. Ensure that you wash until the water is clear. I remove the skin as that is not important in this recipe at all. After rinsing your chicken meat, transfer to a pot. Add in chopped onions and season with salt, bouillon cubes, black pepper, and paprika. Add in a little bit of water and let it cook till it is very tender and can be deboned easily. As always, all the ingredients, measurements, and full detailed instructions are on sturvsbyiddy. And now I have deboned my meat. As you can see, I'm just chopping down the shredded meat just so that they're in nice little pieces. We don't want huge chunks in there. The next thing is to parboil the potatoes. Now you just need to parboil that in salted water for like a minute or two and then drain. We don't need it to be soft. We just need it to be semi-soft. Now in a large skillet, you want to add in a little bit of oil, then go in with your diced onion and your chopped garlic. You want to fry this until it is fragrant before going in with your diced carrots. Fry this for about 1 to 2 minutes and go in with the diced potatoes. It was boiled slightly, so it's already kind of cooked, but now we need it to fry. You want to fry that for about 1 to 2 minutes, then go in with your shredded chicken. You want to season with same ingredients as you used when you boiled the chicken. Black pepper, bouillon cubes, and whatever other seasonings that you would like to add. You want to feel free to go in with any seasonings that suit your taste here. When all that has come together, toss in the green pepper and your Scotch bonnet. Now the Scotch bonnet is very optional because some people like a little heat. Some people do not like heat at all. You can totally leave it out if you do not like heat at all. Now we'll sprinkle in some flour and then the chicken stock, that is the broth of the chicken, can now be added in. Some people just add water. That's okay as well. But the best is really to use the chicken broth because it gives it a very rich finish. And this is what your chicken filling should be looking like. We also do not want to overly stir this chicken filling. You want to stir gently and, use very light hands because we don't want to crush all those potato pieces in there. Now that the filling is done, you want to set it aside to cool down. And now take out the dough from the fridge. It is time to start to make the pies. You want to cut your dough into 8 equal portions like so. When that is done, on a floured surface, take each of your portions and roll it out into a nice, flat, almost round, doesn't have to be perfect, almost round shape, enough to have like a little tea saucer carved out, because that gives you a very clean circle shape. Now you're going to take a little bit of that filling, put it closer to the center. You want to take on one side because you're going to be folding in half. And then you cover, ensuring to pin all the sides of the pie. Pin it down with your fingers first. Then you're going to take a fork and use the fork to seal the edges of the pie. When you're done with that, you transfer to a baking sheet. Oh, look at that. Just look at those beautiful pies. Now you're going to use an egg wash to coat each of the pies. This is something that you can substitute for butter if you want, but the egg wash gives it a nice golden color on the surface. And now you need to make vents in your pies. Just use a fork, dip it in some flour so it doesn't stick too much, and make 3 vents in each of your pies. Because by the time the heat of the oven gets to its peak, the pie may actually look for an escape route and the steam will burst the pie open. We don't want that. Now transfer to your oven that has heated up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and bake for 30 minutes. I cannot describe just how delicious my house smells at this point. It was crunchy, it was not soggy or soft, it was just great. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that the detailed instructions and list of the ingredients are on sturvsbyiddy.ca. If you're yet to subscribe, please go ahead and subscribe. I will really appreciate that. And I'll see you in my next video.